Hello YouTube, Facebook, friends, family, followers, and subscribers, and good evening. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a much better mood now, and I feel like this video would probably put a closure. It'll probably finally bring this chapter of NHL bullshit to a total end. And because I am in such a good mood, and I want to continue to have a good mood, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink to the memory of NHL 16. So please, my beloved followers, do join me. It's not product placement, but please do join me in drinking to the memory of NHL 16. That tastes like money well spent. So here's the real reason why I want to shoot this video. After having the game out of my possession for roughly around a week now, since I last traded it in, it's given me time to reflect on a more neutral level rather than just being mad at the game all the goddamn time and raging for obvious reasons about why this game can be such a pain in the ass sometimes. But now that I've had the, as I said, game gone for roughly a week, it's given me a different view in regards to why the game can be so agitating and so infuriating for a good chunk of half the people that play the game. And that's what it seems to be, is roughly half the people that play the game actually have poor experiences with the game. And especially when you follow EA, I think it's at EA Sports NHL on Twitter, you actually get a really good idea of how many people actually are at their wits' end when it comes to this game. So I guess we could kind of call this video a NHL hut destined to fail from the start sort of rant. Because this is where it's going to lead into is my reasons, my personal reasons and reflections on why I think that Hockey Ultimate Team is just completely set to fail. The entire mode seems to be on cruise control to failure. And here's why. You start out at the beginning in low divisions. When you start in the low divisions, those games seem to be okay. You can lose your games, but they're not going to be complete bullshit. Sometimes you do get outplayed, and sometimes you play the game like crap. Not everybody is going to win every game. That's essentially the way that it goes. But once you start progressing up the division ladder, this is where the game starts to take away from your skill and substitute it for player overall. Now, this can almost be a complete, it almost completely turns on itself when it comes to player overall. If you hit a certain division, I think for me it started really blocking when I hit Division 3. Now, I get up to Division 1 relatively quick. I usually don't lose any of the divisions when I start playing, and I go right into Division 1. But when I started getting into Division 3, all of a sudden my players started to taper off. They weren't playing as well. They were not doing what they were supposed to do. They were in completely different areas of the ice than what they should be. And they seemed to be just letting the other guy have free goals. That would essentially be what it was, is having free goals. And I could play as aggressive onto the puck carrier as I want, but yet I couldn't take him off the puck, I couldn't hit him off the puck, and I would end up taking really bad penalties. Because rather than going for the stick, it would sometimes go, if I stick lift, it would sometimes go right through the stick and crack the guy right in the face, and I'm done for 2, sometimes 4 minutes in the penalty box. Also, too, the goaltending seems to go downhill as well. They go from making those 90 to 95% save average games down to roughly anywhere between 75 to 85% save percentages. When I finished my Hockey Ultimate Team, Ben Bishop and Braden Holtby, my 2 goaltenders that I had on my primary gamer tag, were at 85% save percentages each. That is complete bullshit in regards to the performance of the actual goaltenders in real life. I think Braden Holtby is up around 93%, and Ben Bishop isn't far behind. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but that is a huge difference. The goaltender goes from letting in maybe 1 puck every 10 to 12 shots to letting in almost 2 pucks every 10 to 12 shots. That is a huge difference. And sometimes goals are hard to come by. When you're me, goals are really hard to come by. But that's one thing too, is that the division system seems to automatically spike once you hit a certain level. And if you don't have the players, you're gonna get wrecked. It doesn't matter how good you did in the previous divisions. It doesn't matter how good you're doing on Online Versus, which is a completely different game mode. If you do not have, I would say, B+ to A- players once you hit Division 3, you better prepare your butt, because it's going to get destroyed. And it took around 3 to 4 seasons for me to actually start figuring out how to win those games, because it actually is a totally different mechanic from lower divisions to higher divisions. And that could either be because of the players, or it could be because of something else. But that is also a substitution of player skill. And I'm going to take a drink. Okay, this is another topic for me on to why Hockey Ultimate Team seems to be on this train track to failure. Cruise control to failure, whatever. Money substitutes player skill. And this is something that EA has proven time and time again that they are willing to sacrifice. They are completely willing to sacrifice how good or how bad you are at the game so long as your pockets are deep enough. Don't believe me? Play Battlefield. Battlefield is an online game that I guarantee you most of you guys know this, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain it for the people that might not. Battlefield is a massive online multiplayer game. It's not like a massive RPG, but it's kind of like up there with Call of Duty and Halo. It's a shooter, but here's the thing. Battlefield, you get better gear the longer you play and the more you level. Or you can just buy a shortcut pack from good old EA's Marketplace and get everything that somebody would require upwards of 40 or 50 hours to get, and it's yours right off the bat. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to give you a huge advantage because you're going to have all the perks, you're going to have all the equipment, you're going to have all the good guns, and you're just going to run over people at low level. And that is money for skill. And Hockey Ultimate Team is operating off of that same sort of thing because the pack luck is completely fucking gone. I can't even count how many packs I opened, but I can definitely count on one hand the amount of good players that I got that were worth anything. Don't believe me? Here we go. Movember Henrik Zetterberg, by far the best pull that I've ever gotten. Movember Jacob Voracek. Team of the Week Ryan Suter. Let's see, who's there? Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And Roman Josi. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We'll add one more for Zach Parise. So that's six players that are relatively high in value. I can sure as hell tell you that the amount of coins and the amount of packs that I ripped open to get those guys was ridiculous. And the thing about money for skill is that, of course, if you pay into the packs, which I highly recommend you don't, because they are a waste of money, of course, the more packs you're going to be able to open, the more coins you're going to be able to get from selling things, and then the better players you're going to be able to get down the road. So for somebody like me who quite literally has no money because I'm in school, I'm getting shafted by people that have money. Because I can sure as hell guarantee you that those people that you play against that have the Steven Stamkos, the Sidney Crosby, the Alexander Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, Shea Webbers, and all those guys, all the really top, Eric Carlsons, all those guys. Oh, and not to mention, they're not base. They're like the Movember versions of those cards too. I can 100% guarantee you that those guys did not pull all those cards from packs. Believe it or not. But they did. They got them from probably doing a little bit of market work, but they definitely had a little bit of help from their wallets. And that's the money for skill aspect. EA allows people to buy into their games to give them an advantage over people that don't. And that, I do believe, is wrong, but EA's never going to get rid of that. They make too much goddamn money off of it. It's stupid. When you think about it, it's $5 a pack. Could you imagine how many people are going, oh, it's only $5 on that one day? Jesus. So, let's move on to a different one. And let's take a drink. Tastes like bitterness now. We pay EA on launch. Some people pay $70. Some people pay $90. The $70 people get the base. The $90 people get the premium version, which apparently gives them 2 packs every week. Oh my god! are those packs crap. Man, they are terrible. They are absolutely freaking terrible. You get 12 gold items, one of them is rare, and it's like I said in my previous video, that rare could be a coach that you've gotten 50 fucking times, could be a jersey, arena, heel card, boost, a useless skater card. The possibilities for you getting shat on are endless. The possibilities for you getting anything good out of those packs ain't worth your 20 bucks, that's for sure. Holy fuck. We have the money for skill, and now let's talk about the packs. When you open those packs, EA puts so much garbage filler into those packs to deliberately sap you of your coins and your money that it's enough to make you sick. Their rare cards pop up every pack. And the thing is too is that if you look underneath the card, it has a rarity meter on the card. Apparently, a coach is 5 out of 5, max rarity. You know what else is max rarity? What about that Alex Ovechkin? What about that Sidney Crosby? How about that Carey Price or Henrik Lundqvist? Those are apparently worth the same in rarity as a fucking coach? Well, then I should be pulling Ovies every fucking pack, EA. Tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't. It completely doesn't. And it's there to give you false hope and there to, well, drain your wallets of cash. It's bad. The way that they have the pucks, or the packs organized on to drain you of your hard-earned coins or your hard-earned cash. Something that's hard-earned, EA is going to get a hang of it, and they're just going to be, got the bitch, we got him. You little freaking treasure goblins sitting in your fucking office in Vancouver or Ontario, wherever the hell you are, fucking stroking off and masturbating with $100 bills. Get fucked and help the freaking gamers out. It's so bad. And not to mention too, it's not like that money actually gets put towards anything that the players want. It goes towards releasing all of these other limited edition cards and you not getting them in packs. You think it goes towards removal of game bugs and glitches that have been around for months and months on end? Nope, they're just gonna tell you on Twitter that, you know, they received Twitter. Oh man, Twitter. Follow them on Twitter and see how two-faced they are. First, they play victim, and they tell people, oh my god, we are subject to so much bullying. Well, let me ask you this, EA. How would you feel if somebody stole money from you? How would you feel if you bought a bed and it didn't come with a fucking mattress? How would you feel if you bought a car, it didn't come with a steering wheel? That's what you're giving us. You're giving us unfinished products and then crying when we complain about it. So, really, just fucking shove it. And you don't think that's true? Play your own fucking game and find out. The glitches are retarded. Pardon my word, but they are. They are literally retarded. And I don't understand why they're there. They do not function. They hinder the functionality of the game. And it's enough to drive us mental as gamers. And when we talk to you about it, you scoff at us, you give us a condescending remark on Twitter to try and humiliate us, and then you just piss off. I don't know how many times I've read posts from people to you on Twitter where they're talking about the game, and yes, they're upset. Wouldn't you be? No, you wouldn't be, because you're getting our money. You guys should try and release a finished product before trying to tell us that we should stop getting mad at you. Is that really that difficult of a concept? I don't think so. Seamless puck pickups? Yeah, right. I guess those seamless puck pickups kind of have a rarity meter, because I can't remember the times where I had a seamless puck pickup and people were talking about it once again on your Twitter, to which you said we are aware of the issue and we are trying to resolve it, and then you release 3 tuners and it's even worse. So I honestly sit here and try to piece together now, after not having the game, why the game though is the way it is, and it just doesn't make any sense. I've tried to understand where you're coming from, EA. I really have. And I don't think that there is a large enough amount of vodka on the face of the earth to convince me that you guys are victims. And this is why Hockey Ultimate Team is destined to fail, because the developer doesn't care. The developer does not care. And that's really sad when it comes from one of the biggest gaming developers on the face of the world. Face of the earth. In the world, on the face of the earth. I got my English mixed up there. That could be the vodka. Or it could just be the thoughts in my head about why EA is letting us down. And why gaming companies are continuing to let us down. The amount of unfinished products that are being put on shelves now, it's insulting to us gamers, the people who pay money for these things. We're getting completely shafted. There's no excuse for the amount of bugs that come with NHL 16. The game had a beta test. It had an open beta. I keep looking at my fucking microphone on top of my goddamn camera and I don't know why. But the game had a beta. It had the opportunity to be tested. And then it was released and it still has all of these problems. I don't know how you can have so many problems with the game that is an almost exact split image of the year before. Let's take a look at some of the similarities between NHL 15 and 16. The menu music is the exact same. You guys couldn't even figure out a new repetitive tune to put into the music. It's the exact fucking same music. The announcers say the same things. Quit going out of focus. Focus. The announcers are dressed in this. I'm gonna try and adjust my lighting here. Oh, that don't work. Lighting adjustment. And we're gonna tilt my camera here. Oh, wow. All right. It's a little bit better. Hopefully my camera doesn't go in and out of focus. Time to drink. Yeah, how can you have so many things go wrong with a game that almost is a complete mirror of the last? Like, that's... The glitches are the same. Yeah, like the menu glitch where the buttons disappear, that's the same. That's been around since NHL 15. The puck going through the boards, that's been around since NHL 15. Your players hooking skates with other players and having them act like they're made out of fucking jello, that came back in NHL 15, and just like I said before, the menu music, that was NHL 15 as well. The amount of similarities from one game to the other are very apparent, but yet you still have problems with it. It's like you have 2 years, you still can't get it right. There's no excuse for that on the face of the earth aside from just being lazy and throwing out a product because you know people are going to buy it. You guys remember the Atari and the game E.T. when gaming was so popular back then that they just mass-produced a game that was glitchy, buggy, and incomplete? They made more games than there were consoles because of the big hype that was behind it. What happened to gaming back then? Oh, I know! That left such a taint on gaming that the gaming industry almost completely crashed. And that is where we're heading, especially with products like NHL 16. No, it's not the biggest game on the face of the earth. No, it's not going to have an effect like if everybody boycotted Call of Duty. No, but it's a start. And it's showing us exactly where the industry is heading. And there are more than NHL 16 games out there that have these problems with shipping out completely garbage games that have huge amounts of bugs in them, but yet still sell hundreds of thousands of millions of copies. So, on a bonus note, before I wrap this video up, and this one really makes me want to drink, it's the community. It's the community of NHL 16. Whether it's fans from people that you play against, to people that you watch on YouTube, to people that you follow on Twitch and Twitter. The community for NHL 16 is like a steaming pile of shit. And it's not the content creators that are making it a steaming pile of shit. I hate to say this, I'm not calling any of my followers out, but it has a lot to do with the viewers. It does. And please don't hate me for saying it, but this is my opinion, and from my experience, this is what I see. You ever heard of the term thirsty? That's what seems to be going on with Twitch. All you get are viewers going into streamers' streams and begging them to give them cards. That's all they do, is they sit in the room and beg them to give them cards. And if they don't beg them to give them cards, oh, you're gonna get trolled. You're gonna have your wife insulted. You're gonna be called a fat faggot. You're gonna be cussed at because you're not giving them something for free. Hence why I haven't been on Twitch in a while, because of that sort of shit. You play somebody on Hockey Ultimate Team, you win or you lose, the guy messages you and starts trash talking you. Why? Why? You won or you lost? Just accept it and move on. I'm not a perfect advocate of this. No, I'm not. But there are reasons why I would message somebody and maybe complain to them. Probably because of the way that they played and how they exploited the game. And that, as I said, is another completely different. I don't have time to go on to that one. But the community is absolutely, it's so detrimental and it's destroying itself. It's like rust that is constantly eroding the framework that is NHL. And EA Sports NHL they haven't done anything to try and solve this problem. And I mean, it's not so much their problem as it is our problem as gamers, how we should just stop doing that to ourselves. But it's really bad for NHL 16. It's really bad. If you have a YouTube channel or if you have a stream for something, if you're not giving stuff away, you're a shit streamer. No, it doesn't matter if you're good at the game. It doesn't matter if you're entertaining. It doesn't matter if your content is really good. If you ain't giving shit away, you're a scrub. You're a totally fucking scrub. So that's totally wrong to anybody who wants to try and maybe create their own shit. So, holy fuck. Well, I just looked at how long I've been recording for, and I think I have taken up enough of your time. Hopefully this video comes off as a little bit more neutral, because I'm not so mad as I am just disappointed. I'm so disappointed. And as I sip my vodka and Coke, I ask myself, am I going to try to get NHL 17? Well, considering that I've been playing the game I've been playing the game a lot harder since around 2009. Probably I'm going to give NHL 17 a shot. But that's all it's getting. A shot. It's getting an opportunity to rebuild everything that's been destroyed. And if it doesn't prove to have changed or improved, they've had 3 years to frickin' do it. 15, 16, and now 17. They'd have 3 games. Then it's back to fucking EB games I go, and we will see done with NHL 17 and Dead and Gone Part 2. For NHL 17. I'm not making much sense now. It's 2:30 and the vodka is starting to hit me because I am drinking it a little quick. But seriously, EA, you have thousands of people that put so much money, hard-earned money, into a game that has just been consistently letting us down. As a plea from every other person who's played NHL and has had the problems that I've had with it, fix NHL 17 and show us that you give a shit rather than you caring just about us on our wallets. Because as of right now, your slogan is EA Sports. It's in your wallet. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, that was... Alright, YouTube, Facebook, friends, family, followers, and subscribers. Sorry for the long-ass video, but much love to you guys, and peace. I hope that NHL 17 is going to be so much better, because I love honestly making that content for you guys, and I would love to get back into it. But as I said, if the game does not prove to have changed or improved or been fixed at all, then it's just not going to happen. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Yeah, this is just getting awkward now. Out.